What up, everybody? My name is Alex. You are back for the season 4 of the Z-Egg Show for episode 2. And I'm very excited and to have the crew back. I got Joshua, I got Adam, two delinquents that I got here. But they're just doing a tremendous job. They're a few months away from graduating, but yeah, it's been my crew so far. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I know season 3 has been a little weird as far as scheduling episodes wise, but I'm just trying to keep my life and this thing all together in one wrap. But I just want to say to all you guys who've been watching, been supporting me on social media, been supporting on everything, I just want to say to you guys, thank you. I care for all you guys. Literally, I follow back everybody that follows me. I really do. I have 200 follows, following back. But I will follow you. Except for Adam. I won't follow you back.
Oh, okay.
Except for Adam. I won't follow him back. But anyways, hope you guys enjoying season 3. Hope you guys enjoying season 4 so far. I know last episode was really cool. But today we have a very special important guest. Now to me, this guy, I honestly just genuinely had a great connection right off the bat. It was something crazy. Every conversation we got, it would turn like usually it turns like an hour. We'll talk about the most random stuff. We'll laugh, but we're going to real genuine connection, and I know it's gonna be more deeper once we get into this interview. So without further ado, I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we have here Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, man? I'm doing okay. Man, I'm tired as hell.
I know. I'm tired too. I'm tired
been here
too.
all day, man. But it's been a fun day, man. We had the potluck thing this afternoon, and it's just been a fun day.
How are you? Well, first of all, what's something that people may not know about you? What's something that people may, not get about you?
The big thing people may not hear about me from this point of my life is I actually have the spirit of a firefighter. And deep down inside, I am a firefighter. Ask anyone in my family, they'll tell you the same thing.
Mm. And when did that love grow from? Was it from a kid? Did you always want to be a firefighter?
Basically from a kid. My father started off being a fire photographer for the Elgin Fire Department. Mm-hmm. So he would go out, would get texts to go out to fire scenes when it was a working actual fire, and he would take pictures so they could use it for training and all that kind of stuff. But then down the line, about 2014, I want to say, mm-hmm. The department started an Explorer program. And that's how I got more involved with it. The guys knew me as a kid from my dad being their fire photographer. I spent so much time at each station down in Elgin, and all that fun stuff. But when I became an Explorer is when really I got accepted in my own way, and I started knowing more guys in the department than my dad did, which was a extremely fun rite of passage for me, because I'm like, okay, for all these years, you knew everybody, now I know everybody.
I know people more than you.
I mean, but it's a fun time, and for anyone that doesn't know, and you're not going to know unless you're part of the profession, and I was in a very small way, and ask anyone in Elgin, I'm considered part of their department family.
Wow.
It is really a brother and sisterhood. I mean, you develop relationships in that job that will never go away. Mm. But it is a very, very dangerous job, and I wanted to do it my whole life until my disability, because I'm slightly disabled. I have cerebral palsy, which has hindered a lot of my life, but I tried not to let it get in my way. I played Pee Wee football. I was a varsity athlete in high school. Mm-hmm. So I really tried not to let that get in my way, and I still don't. But it was finding a profession I could do my whole life where that wasn't going to be a problem and get in the way.
Wow.
So, I mean, and that's really what stopped me from being a firefighter. And the only thing that really did was my leg issue.
But the fact that you kept those memories was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. But I will say this. It was the hardest decision for me to walk away from wanting to be a firefighter. Mm. It was almost like a 20-year guy in the department and retiring is what it really felt like. Oh. But more for what got me into this profession was my grandpa, may rest in peace, my father, and then my best friend, Fernando, in high school, who I was on the bowling team with, I was on the track team with, and we would always talk after practice and all that, and I would just start chopping it up about random things about sports, and one day he turns to me and goes, "Man, you got a really good sports brain, and you should really do something with that." And I always thought to be a sports broadcaster, you kind of had to be like in the sport, like a player force,
yeah.
and then be noticed by someone to like get that announcer job or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that someone who just studied this sport his whole life, which I basically have studied every sport known to America. Let's be honest.
Spend your time.
Okay, let's be honest. There's one European sport I follow, and that's soccer, because I'm 1/4 Dutch.
There you go.
So soccer is one of my favorite sports.
Wait, football.
Football. Yep, there you go. There you go. Yep. People. Okay, let's get this right. I'm not trying to say anything bad here. Yes, I'm white and I love soccer. People can be white and love soccer. Let's get that.
Are you okay? I'm sorry. I should probably move the couch a little bit forward. Oh, you're good. Go ahead. So you say yes, so soccer. And then
and then my friend Fernando Vargas, may he rest in peace, was really one of those who said, you have a really big sports brain, and kind of started me thinking about maybe this could be something I could do. Mm-hmm. And then my grandpa's the one who taught me my first sport. I had to play my first sport. First sport I learned to play was soccer.
Nice.
That was his favorite sport growing up in Holland. He was probably one of the best soccer players. I mean, he could have gone pro.
Oh, man.
He was that kind of a soccer player.
Sweet.
And I can remember 3-4 years old in his backyard learning to kick a soccer ball. Like, he couldn't move around and do all that anymore, but he still had all the knowledge up here. Yeah. Yep. And then I honestly say this. I always say my grandfather sparked the interest in sports, but then my dad fanned it for the rest of my life. I can remember every Sunday watching the Bears, every spring and summer watching the White Sox. I am a Southsider.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I'm a Southsider, but hey, we're getting better. Exactly. We're getting there. But that's basically how I got into sports broadcasting. I learned about every sport, and I love sports. I could talk sports all day, as you know.
I know these guys.
Yeah, that's Adam though. Like, we've been talking like
Joshua.
Yesterday.
Oh my God,
debate.
Yes.
Like, give me 10 centers better than Dwight Howard.
Clint Capella's better than Dwight Howard.
He's like,
garbage, bro. Like, pure garbage.
That's basically my story of how I got here.
Right.
Yeah, but now we're just going forward. I'm about to graduate from RTV. This month will be my last month, and then December, like mid-December, I'll start sports after this.
Now that this became like a full circle moment for you, like especially because like the way it started, right? You went to RTB, then you did 2, and now you're going into sports emphasis. Now you're doing something that your grandfather thought you'd be great at, right?
Yeah.
So what are some things that you're gonna sentimentally like say or do once you get into sports emphasis? What do you think that's gonna open up a can of worms for?
If I ever have the opportunity to work a Chicago Fire game, I think that's what's gonna do it. And excuse me, everybody, if I get a little emotional with this one.
It's okay.
God.
It's all right.
My grandpa loved soccer, and one thing the two of us always did together was watch the World Cup every 4 years. And I apologize to America, but I always rooted for the Netherlands. I mean, they always had a better shot at everything.
Hey man. You gotta do it.
But I've always felt very in touch with my Dutch roots.
Mm-hmm.
But we always wanted to go to a Chicago Fire game together and never got the chance. So that is probably the hardest thing if I ever get a chance to call a game like that. And just now, I've gotten the opportunity to be on WRMN one night a week to co-host Big Top Sports from 6 to 8. And it's tough thinking that he didn't get to see any of this. He passed away before I started the program. He was always on me for finding something, because I think he knew deep down I was never going to be a firefighter. He never wanted to spoil it for me.
Right.
But I think he always wanted me to find something that he knew and the family knew I was going to be good at. Just all around one of the toughest and best men you would ever meet. I can honestly say this, and my family's gonna watch this on YouTube, guys. And I apologize to any of them that are watching this and hear this, but I always thought of him as kind of the leader of our family. Even
Right.
though he wasn't the oldest brother or the oldest at the time, at some points, he was always the one everyone went to. It was like, you know, he was always the one with the level head and like, what would Fred think? Or what would Fred, you know? And it's been hard since he's been gone. Especially that was the last. My grandma's still here, but my grandpa got remarried.
Right.
My biological grandma passed away in 1990 before I was born.
Oh,
So he was actually the last biological grandparent.
that you had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Both my dad's parents had passed away a couple, like 2018, I think it was.
Really.
So, and just I have so many great sports memories with him. I remember, God, I can't remember what year it was. Maybe Adam and someone can help me. But there was it's like 2003, 2004 that the All-Star Convention was here in Chicago. I think it was at for MLB. It was at the Cell.
Was it at Wrigley?
No, it was at the
No,
Cell.
it was at the South.
Oh, the South.
I remember, but I think it's.
I can't remember.
It was
what-
early 2000s. I remember
Yeah.
for sure. But
But
I forgot what year.
there's my favorite picture of my grandfather and me. Is a picture taken from behind, and we're walking away, and he and I are just holding hands, and you can tell where we are because we're walking on AstroTurf.
You see everybody in the back.
But that's my favorite picture, the two of us. But has been one of my biggest sports influencers, especially in the soccer part, because he said, no one else in my family likes soccer. I don't know what happened to your mom and uncle, but
They're like, did it skip a generation or what?
they just inherited the love of soccer like you did. And it pissed me off. And I'm like, that's the one thing he had is he probably got someone he could sit and watch soccer with that wanted to learn it and understand it and all that.
I think that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Things like that, I can never like take away. Like me and my own father, we love soccer. I never went to a soccer game ever since my father took me to one soccer game, and it was for Mexico, and I think it was Chile or something like that.
Right.
And when we went there, it was like the best time I ever had. And I think with those moments, you really got to think about it, and especially like in moments where like you finally get to a point, right? You finally become the sports broadcaster. You finally get in that area, and even though right now you're just grinding and working, the fact that one day, I'm gonna be like this, I think he's very proud of you. I believe he's very proud of you. I know he's very proud of you. The fact that you're here, the fact that you never let a disability get in your way, the fact that you never, and you know what? I feel that from you. I feel like that's the leadership that you bring, into me sometimes. I think when I see you, I'll be like, okay, if he can do it, we all can do it. If you can push through this, we can all push through this. I think that's, you become the leader now. I think that's something that I'm seeing right now. I think you became the leader now because now you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, despite what may be holding me back. I'm gonna push forward because this is my life. This is what I'm gonna take. This is what I'm gonna do and do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And I think I'm very, and you know what, brother? I'm very proud of you for like going this far and doing what you're doing, especially because you're one of the, I feel like, overachieving students, where he's just like, every second I hear about Andrew, WR man. Every second I hear about Andrew, he's doing a project. Every time I hear about Andrew, there's something going on with him, right? So I'm very proud of you. I think your grandfather will be very proud of you as well.
And I hope so. And, like I said before, my friend Fernando Vargas, he passed away so suddenly a couple of years ago in a car accident. He was hit head on by a driver that crossed the double yellow. Is all I know. And he left fiance and 3 kids under the age of 6 or 7 behind. Wow. And he was one of my closest friends. I'd never built a relationship with someone so quick. We met my freshman year of high school. He was a junior. And we met on the bowling team. And one day we're talking and we're getting to know each other. And I'm telling him my whole life story that I have this disability, that I'm, I've gone through all these surgeries and I've had all these problems and all that. And he looks at me one day and goes, man, you're one mighty man. And all of a sudden he stops and he thinks for a sec. And he goes, wait a minute. Mighty Man, that's a good nickname for you.
Mighty Man.
And I shit you not, to this day, when his mother will text me or his stepfather will text me to see how I'm doing, they'll go, hey, what's up, Mighty? Or they'll see me, what's up, Mighty? But he called me. That just became what they called me. And I'll never forget this. It's hilarious. He convinced me to join the track team as a thrower. I did that for 3 years in high school. And my first day, sophomore year, first day of practice, I text him, I'm like, okay, where the fuck do we meet? Because it's still the winter season, so we're in the indoor track season, so where the fuck is practice? And so he's like, I'll meet you over here, and we'll go down together. I'll introduce you to our head coach, the throwers head coach, and all that. So he takes me over to meet the throwers head coach, and all of a sudden we walk up, and he goes, hey, coach, so this is Mighty Man. And all of a sudden coach goes, ooh, Mighty Man, I like that. I shit you not. He's like, I like that. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is
I like that too. I think this is going to be the title of the video, Mighty Man.
I guess that's cemented now. And I even have one of my 2 track, warm-up suits for before meets is actually, instead of my last name on the back, has Mighty Man on the back. So the whole track team by the end of my senior year, and by the end of my senior year, he'd been 2 years graduated and gone already, and I'm still being called Mighty Man by all the coaches and players and all that.
That's awesome, brother.
But yeah, he's the one that got me into more sports in high school, kind of becoming more from a fan and now becoming an athlete, even though it wasn't in football, because my mom always said, and I will be upset about this till my dying day, I guess she says, I like your brain the way it is, and she didn't want me injured. Aww. But football was my sport, and I'm still upset about that because, man, if I would have stayed in shape, I have a cannon of an arm. For people that don't know, man, I do, and I was born with it. Right. And I don't know if it's what it was, but I feel like I could have made the football team as a quarterback. I shit my brother. I shit you not. Okay, no, you want to hear a shitty story? I'm back in elementary school. My dad's picking me up from an after-school program, and I don't know why, but for some reason he just starts talking to my gym teacher, and I hear out just listening in a little bit, and all of a sudden I hear my elementary school teacher tells to my father, he says, if Andrew didn't have this disability, and he worked hard at it for his whole life, he could go pro in the NFL?
I think so.
And it's like, fuck my legs, why? But my legs have always been that roadblock I've had to overcome, and I think I finally found the profession where it's not gonna get in the way.
And I feel like that's beautiful because it's like a mixture of both worlds of what you want to do, right? You want to do sports, and it's not like you could talk about it. You can be that, and then also you can have people tune into your show, have people tune into you, have people, recognize your voice, like, oh, that's Andrew. Right. You know what I mean? I think that's wonderful. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, how do you become? And I know it's a deep question, but how do you mentally go through this? Like, what are some things you remind yourself of, or this is a lot, man. You know what I mean?
I have gone through a lot of struggles in my life, and I have friends, but it's a very small circle, and my close friends I consider my family. Mm-hmm. So I mean, really, the true friends I have that I probably count on one hand. That would actually call me and do things for me and shit like that. I've always had this one friend in my corner. His name is Bennett. He's still around, but I get emotional because he's always there for me. I can remember one time, and you want to talk about challenges. I had just had my last surgery as a child, so I'm in 5th grade. Okay. And I had to leave class early to, get through, not be in the rush of all the students leaving to get to the buses. Mm-hmm. But I'm in a wheelchair because both my legs are in casts and I can't walk. So it's like was the school's protocol that a student could walk down with you to make sure you're okay.
Right.
And like no student in my class wanted to go down with me. It was like a very shitty moment. But I can remember it's like, okay, all of a sudden my teacher looks at me, it's like, no one wants to go with you. Do you have anyone that a friend of yours that's in another class that would want to go down with you? So I gave him it was funny, I gave my friend Bennett's name because he was in a class right next door.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him no time. He shot up. He said, I'll be right there. But it's like the fact of no one in my class wanted to leave early just to walk down with me. It was a really shitty feeling. I've always been looked at weird because I used to wear like the plastic leg braces to help because I used to walk on my toes. So my pediatrician thought that could help force me to kind of walk right. Mm-hmm. And it did a little bit. But I always got picked on for that. I used to be called Gimp, Limpy, you know, everything in the book. But having my friend Bennett by me my entire life, and when I say my entire life, we've known each other since first grade. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of, and we're 25 now, so you can kind of, that's how long we've known. We've grown up each other. We lived right down the street from each other. I literally walked the block and I was at his house. That's how close we were. His parents became my parents and vice versa. I still go over there. His mom answers the door. I'll go, hi, Mom. She'll go, oh, my third son, you know, because he was a younger brother. But that's how it was for us. And I have to give a shout out to one more person that got me here. His name is Alex Penaloza. He's currently a United States Marine serving in North Carolina. So shout out to him, man. But he's another one like Fernando. We met in high school, and we kind of had the same learning disability issues. So we weren't in the regular classes. We were always slower and that kind of thing. So we just kind of met, got to talking, and like just again one of those friendships that built into a brotherhood. And even he calls me now because he can't come home as much as he wants to. Right. So he'll call me. He's like, "You better be doing all your shit in school, little brother, and you better not fail." And he calls me and checks in, and we don't even classify ourselves as friends anymore. I mean, we're brothers. Right. We're family. I mean, I'm invited to even his older sister calls me, her little brother, and his mom calls me her son. And it's just I have a couple friends like that where I kind of got a couple extra families to support me, and it feels good to have that behind me. But I always feel like I'm not this guy that has to have 20 friends and I go out with all these people.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to. And you know what, Andrew? I truthfully, brother, thank you for going this far, and I'm very proud of you. And I honestly thank you for pushing this through. I honestly, you got me a little emotional here because I'm just like, man, it's the fact that you know that you were different, the fact that you pushed through it, the fact that you were like, you know what, I'm not gonna let this get to me, and the fact that you had this amazing support. I think that definitely play a big part in how you are right now. I think everyone can agree from everyone here, like we're talking with you or saying you are the nicest person we ever met. I think I've never been so comfortable around a person ever in my life. The fact that you were so humble, very welcoming. Your energy brings very good vibes. Did that come from knowing how you felt and not wanting to put that on others?
That kind of comes from my family. My mom's family has been through a lot. Mm-hmm. And we don't take things for granted. We don't get cocky about things. We take things one day at a time. And the reason for that being is my mom's family is from Holland. They grew up in Amsterdam during the Second World War. And my great opa, who's grandfather in Dutch, was part of the Dutch resistance during the war. And my family went through a lot of bullshit, but they got through it, sometimes by the skin of their teeth. But I think the one thing that brought them all together is having a goal of coming to the U.S. Because I remember asking my grandpa once, why did Opa wanted to come here almost over 10 years later? You know, because at that point it had been 12, 13 years after the war. And he said, Opa wanted to give not only me and your aunts and uncles a better life and more opportunities than we have in Holland. Because even though Holland is not like a country like Russia or something like that, you still don't have all the opportunities like we do here.
That's true.
So he wanted to give my grandpa and all those guys more opportunities. But he also wanted to give my mom more opportunities, me and my sister more opportunities.
Right.
And I can say this, my grandpa took full advantage of all those opportunities. Man, he was a maitre d' at a big class restaurant in Chicago where it was it actually was on the roof of a building downtown, and he had to wear tux to work. I mean, that's the kind of place this was.
Right.
And one story I'll tell you about him, this will make you go, oh shit, and think. He was working one night, and Rodney Dangerfield comes walking in. We all know from Caddyshack and Back to School, we all know Rodney Dangerfield. And he wanted, I don't know if you know the dish show, Bananas Foster. It came from New Orleans, and it's usually made tableside. It's like a dessert.
Okay, yeah.
And it's made tableside, and he ordered it, and I guess no one who was working there other than my grandfather knew how to make it. So he goes over there, and he's making it, and they're chopping it up, and all of a sudden he's done, and I guess Rodney Dangerfield, he takes a bite, and he looks at my grandfather. He goes and he takes his hand, he kisses his hand, and says, "This is the best Bananas Foster I've had since I've been in New Orleans."
Oh,
and my grandfather says, to the day that was one of the best moments of his life. Like, could you imagine? Because like,
bro, your food's that good.
Yeah, like. But my grandfather also knew some people, and he didn't know names, he didn't drop any names, but my grandfather also knew people from the Chicago outfit, from the seedier side of Chicago.
Okay.
And that's fun. Laughingly, that's how my uncle got tickets to see the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
he got them through guys. But that's the kind of life my grandfather led. So I guess it worked out. My Opa's plan worked out to give his children and his grandchildren and great-grandchildren a better life. I mean, it worked out. I mean, I have this opportunity. My grandpa got to do all this stuff, and he met umpires and referees from baseball and that, and my uncle got to go into the Cubs locker room and meet guys like Ryan Sandberg and that. Well, that's a funny story. You meet Ryan Sandberg, he's in the locker room, like my uncle and that. My grandfather is in like the umpire's room having a hot dog, chatting it up with his buddies. And he's with my mom. My mom's with him too, right?
Right.
And here's my mom, because she's a woman, right? So she couldn't go into the locker room. So she's out. My uncle's in the locker room having the time of his life. And mind you, my mom is the bigger Cubs fan. Sorry to tell you that, Uncle Christopher, but my mom is the bigger Cubs fan. So he's in there meeting all these guys having his life. My grandfather's in the umpire room eating a hot dog, chopping it up with his buddies. And then here's my mom sitting on the steps outside, waiting for them to get it done.
Right.
To this day, she's still upset about that moment. Because it's like, why though? Like, I get the locker room, but like, I guess another time too, my uncle got to go into the Cubs dugout at Wrigley. And they wouldn't even let my mom in the dugout. Like, I get the locker room, but like, why not the dugout? Like, the fuck? But like, yeah, my family has led a very interesting life. My mom was a school teacher for over 30 years, and my dad did odd jobs for a while. He worked in a warehouse, like a beauty systems kind of makeup supply warehouse. And now he's done for over 10 years now. He's been a school bus driver, and he loves it. And he drives around like special needs students, which,
great.
I mean, is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, he loves it. My mom loved being a teacher, but let me tell you, anyone who doesn't have a teacher for a mom, be grateful. Be grateful, because you got to get out of school for taking kids to work days. I got to get out of school to go back into school to do more work. And it was like, really? Oh, man. It but it was. I had the best parents in the world that have sacrificed so much for me.
Mhm.
And you know what? And I'm pretty sure you can attest to this too. I mean, we don't show it enough to our parents
Right.
how much
No,
they
yeah.
how much they do for. I mean, we really don't. And it's sad. And you know, I'm one to talk because I'm one of those people that I can honestly say I've taken my parents for granted
sure,
sometimes.
yeah.
And I need to stop doing it. Everyone needs to stop doing that because they're not always going to be here.
Mhm.
And it's something to always cherish your parents and brothers and friends, and I can attest to this. While they're here, cherish them and spend as much time with your friends and family as you can, because you don't know what's going to happen day to day.
Yeah.
I mean, one day I was literally texting my brother, and the next night I'm getting a text from his stepfather saying he's gone. So I mean, anything could happen. Anything. So take advantage of your
Yeah.
life while you have it.
I think, man, wow. My few questions I have here. I think this one's. I think you'll like this question. What does it mean for you to have your mom watch you do this?
It means a lot. Um, and I can say this, and I think every man can say this. I think we're a lot closer to our moms than we are our fathers,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that's more because the fathers have always thought, I got to be tough on the son to make him
Right.
like me. I can't show him that I have emotions.
Mhm.
But mom has always been there for us. For a shoulder to cry on, and
Right.
has always said it's okay to cry. Let it out.
Mhm.
Dad always said, buck up, rub some dirt on it, get
Rub
over
some
it,
dirt on it.
Yeah. But, but both my parents have always been there for me. I'm also an Eagle Scout. And I can honestly say both my parents were involved in that. But having her watch this and watching me get through this, excuse me, I know she's proud. I know part of her is upset my grandpa's not here to see it.
Mhm.
But honestly, I know she's proud of me. Um, and I just hope that I can make her proud. She has taken me as far as she can, and now it's on me to take myself the rest of the way. And I can totally admit I've been a complete jerk at times, and I need to stop. Um, And I'm kind of using your show as a therapy session, man, but it kind of works, man. I feel more comfortable here talking to you guys than I would out in like a therapist's office staring at me like, I don't, like, he's like, it would be sitting there, guys, telling you like, okay, Andrew, what's your problem? Like, tell me
I'm
your
telling you,
problem.
like after the show, it'll be like another 30 minutes. It'll be like a full blown conversation, and then like, bro, I felt way better.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I think that sometimes like, and that was the other thing too. Like every guys, I felt like it was a way to like let out things. We work every day, we eat every day, but we never let out every day. And some of us can't afford therapy, right? Insurance can't cover it sometimes. Money can't cover it sometimes, right? And even then, I think knowing that you're gonna go to a place to try to get better and not knowing what your podcast is gonna be about or what you're gonna talk about, I think is more what you'll get out of it than the whole therapy session, because you don't expect nothing.
And that's the thing. Anyone who's thinking like, "Oh, I'm getting down, I should get into therapy." Really? Take your phone. If you have like an iPhone, even any phone nowadays, cameras are getting so good. Start a freaking podcast. Go like some of them. Like you could start a podcast for free. It does not cost you anything to put your podcast on Podbean or YouTube or anything like that. It doesn't cost you anything. Just start a podcast. Put yourself in front of a camera and just spill your guts out.
And I think for me too, and you know what, for me, it's also therapeutic. I think for me, like looking back at it, every guest, someone told me that everybody you know, everybody you met is a bit a part of you.
And that's
true. And that's true, right? So like when I interview everybody here, including yourself, every bit of it, it's about me. Like honestly, no joke. And Josh was here. I thought about a younger self of how genius I felt as a younger person.
Right.
I felt that with Joshua because Joshua was what 19, right? 19. I'm 21. He's 2 years younger than me, but I felt like when he was his age, I felt a genius, right? I felt like I knew my music. I felt like I knew this, I knew that. I felt like I had my own swag. I felt like no one could mess with me. I felt like I was on top of the world, right?
Right.
When I talk to you right now, it made me appreciate more of my family. Made me think about my mom. Made me think about I should go after this, text my mom, be like, hey, how's everything? How's my brother? How's my sister? So I appreciate the show because I know even if I'm gone, I know someone else will take care of it. Because I never want it to go away. The fact that one person and another person can learn so much from each other, especially from different parts of the world, right? You come from a different part of you come from a different part of life than I do.
Right.
And sometimes that correlates to each other. Right.
And one thing I can say, and one thing I said, my favorite president of all time is Abraham Lincoln. So my mom. So is my mom. And there's a thing he said, this is before he became president and went into politics. Right after he moved to Illinois, and he's talking to a friend of his that was working at what we would call today a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And Lincoln was going through a depressed time because he had lost his girlfriend or something like that. I don't know the whole story, but friends of his were worried that he was going to try and commit suicide. So they were constantly looking over him. But he was having a conversation with one of his friends one day, and he said, "Don't worry about me. I'm not going anywhere because I haven't done anything to make anyone remember that I had ever lived." And I think that's my goal, is to make sure when I do leave this earth that I'm remembered, not only by me, but I want to do something that makes people remember I was here.
Exactly.
Like how many of us would know about guys like Harry Carey or Michael Jordan or any of these guys if they didn't pursue their passions and work their asses off to get to where they got.
Exactly.
They did something to make people remember that they lived, and that's what I want to do.
And I think you're gonna do it, and I know you're gonna do it. I think you're on the right path. I think if your family did it, you're gonna do it. I think if you have glimpses of other people in your family doing what you want to do, I believe you're gonna do it. Now, Andrew, for the last question I have, what's your advice on mental health? What is your advice in general? And then one little small message to your family.
If I could give one message out there, especially with mental health, and obviously it goes for men and women, but me personally, I speak more for the men out there. And I will say this. I'm 25 years old, you guys. It is okay for men to come out and say, I have anxiety. I have depression, because I do.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with anxiety every day. I deal with depression every day. But it's something that it's okay to have.
Yeah.
I'm a big Juice WRLD fan, and he was a big advocate and proponent of men coming forward and saying, yes, I have these issues. It's okay. It's okay for us to get treatment. And I've been to every Juice WRLD day since he passed, since they started in 2021. And I can remember the first year his mom came out on stage and did a little speech and said to everyone, but I think she was talking mostly to the men, that if you're having any problems, any mental issues, anything like that, speak up. It is okay. And I can remember that and just putting my head in my lap and just starting to cry, because I think it was at that point I knew it was okay, because someone I didn't know personally was telling me it was okay.
Right.
It wasn't a family member saying, oh, it's okay, let it out.
Yeah.
This was someone else telling me that. And it was the same thing with Juice WRLD. He was telling me through my music, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be a man and have these problems, because I do.
Right.
So to anyone out there, men, if you need help, please go get it. And it doesn't matter what age you are, because it affects all of us. And a message to my family: thank you for all the support.
It's okay. Man. You can get tissue. Real quick.
Thank you to the Nando's family. To all my teammates and everyone who pushed me in high school to never give up. Thank you so much, and I'll never forget you guys. I guess that's it. I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, that's awesome. That was awesome. You okay?
Yeah.
We all go through that part of life.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
good.
you're
You're
fine.
good, man.
No, you're
but
good,
like,
you're good.
yeah,
Joshua,
I'm sorry.
Joshua got
I
the
can
switch.
feel the
Joshua got
second
the
he
switch.
asked me to tell. The second he asked me to tell him his life story, I was like, dude, I'm gonna start pulling on heartstrings in here, and I hope people is ready for because I have a really I don't want to say fucked up life story, but I've been through some shit.
Yeah. All
You know.
right, I'm gonna close this. What's going on? All right, let me close the show. Let me go. Joshua,
Oh, God.
thank you guys for watching the ZX show. This is episode 2 of the season 4. We just had an amazing episode. Great roller coaster of emotions. We are having a strong season 4 so far. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again for the crew. Thank you guys for supporting us, for subscribing, for commenting, for liking. Please turn on the notifications. And if you get unsubscribed, like my boy Andrew did for some reason, please subscribe again. Find us on YouTube. Find us on TikTok. Find us on Instagram. Please follow us and DM us. DM us whenever you want. We follow back. We really pay attention to the community. And we love you guys. Please take care. Bye.
I'm gonna